everybody. It is time. It is time for 702 Sports on the Sideline. Produced and created by Creation for Cause and proud partners with the Clark County School District and BGC Sports Network out of Texas and Oklahoma. And guess what, everybody? I am here. Hold up. Let's start off with One Leg Willie.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we had a great episode last week and I'm back. Oh yeah, thanks Big Al.
And we got Coach Bobby J from around the way.
That's right. Good morning.
And then we got JP.
Let's do it.
And we got a special guest. We got Jamie.
What's up, y'all?
The ultimate Raven fan.
Ride or die.
But we're not going to forget about Disco Baller, who made a special trip from down south.
Oh Al, I just love when you introduce me. It makes me feel so special.
And she even stayed, America, for that USC LSU game. She didn't go back home to Louisiana. She decided to go ahead and stay and cook some gumbo for us.
I did, and they ate it all. Thank you, boys, for the appreciation.
And we also have Olivia.
You know, I got locked in a sound box the entire week since last week. I'm not going to participate.
But it is time for NFL. But we're going to start off with college preview and doing this first segment of recapping college and going into our college preview. Fellas, what was up? What was up with the dogs? Who let the dogs out for college football? It was USC and LSU. Big game out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was at the Allegiant Stadium, right? LSU was favored to win the game. And USC, that game was filled with one-arm bandits. And Willie, we ain't talking about one-leg Willie, but guess what? It was one-arm bandits.
Oh man, guys, that's all I heard, but I didn't get to watch. You're gonna have to tell us about it.
Well, I will tell you. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, fellas. Ready? But in the first half, an incredible 30-yard bomb, JP, to the receiver from USC, number 4, Branch, one arm in between 3 people. 3 LSU, right? Ketchick sets him up for the first score. But the main ingredient catch was in the fourth quarter. You was there, and I really want to talk to you.
Yes.
What did you think about that incredible third down catch when USC really needed it? Back shoulder fade, right to the sideline, caught plus a targeting. Talk about it, Jamie. You was there.
The targeting, I thought was a little unjust for. I thought it was a little the refs were too much in their feelings. But it was great to see that USC was able to pull it out. And we got to wave bye to all of them LSU fans. Right on, Trojans.
I mean, that was a great game. I really, LSU had it in grasp. They had it. But Coach Chip Kelly just wasn't aggressive. He wasn't aggressive in the first half. So when I seen that, I was like, man, we're going to have one of these boring run games. But something happened, and USC just kept fighting on.
And I was impressed with both quarterbacks. I thought both the quarterbacks, Nussmeier and I'm trying to remember the other guy's name,
Miller Moss.
Moss.
Played really well. So
that guy, I didn't even know, JP. Last year, when Caleb Williams didn't play, that brother came in and threw for 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns in the bowl game. That lets you know he was hungry. And he managed that game quite well. Yeah. JP, what else was you thinking about the game? You want to elaborate on?
I just thought it was a good game. The announcers during the game kind of talked about it. I thought, those kind of games, I'm glad they still schedule. Michigan, we're going to talk about it later. Michigan's going to play Texas. I'm nervous as a Michigan fan, but you want to play those games,
Yes.
instead of, some of the other games you saw this past week when they're playing kind of nobody's a winning 60-0. I mean,
right.
That's always, that's been what some teams do, but I like when they do it aggressive. You're right. You see a USC, LSU at Allegiant Stadium here in town. So, and I also was impressed. I mean, USC just kind of down the street, but LSU travel well. Like their fans, I was like in town over the weekend. I saw LSU fans everywhere.
I went and picked up my granddaughter from the airport, right, from Atlanta on Friday. There was nothing but purple and yellow all throughout the airport. I'm talking incredible. So thank you, LSU fans, for coming out here and supporting the Las Vegas, right? Thank you so much, SC. You guys are our little brother right over in California. Keep coming back. But Coach Bobby J, what did you think about the game?
As a Tiger fan, I start out by saying go Tigers. It was good to see uprising from our second string running back Eatery. I believe number 22 came in, played a big game. I wasn't expected to tote it as much, but he came in, played big. It was a tough game to lose. Very tough game to lose. Had the game in hand. But I mean, it sets us up for the next week, and we're going to keep on building from there. I say still disappointed because a couple years now we've been looking to really go over that mountain and achieve our goals again. But unfortunately not able to start the season the way we wanted to, but it keeps going. Season keeps going.
But you know what's interesting, Bobby, about this new playoff format? You lose one game, you still in the party.
That's right.
You still in line. Like, you're not getting kicked out of line. You know what I mean? It's just when you have about 3 or 4 losses now, right? Because we have a big table for college football to get to the dance and win it. And we're going to talk more about that. But, Bobby, you had another game you wanted to talk about on the recap.
Yes, sir.
Right? What was one of those games?
One of those games was, we'll say, Alabama and Western Kentucky. I was very curious to see how they do with Coach DeBoer. And, they came out, they exceeded expectations. They won 63-0. 63-0. So, losing Coach Saban, that's right. That's a good statement game to come out. Even though it's Western Kentucky, we're not necessarily looking for them to do too much. But for Alabama and their fans, that was a good start to a good season, possibly. All right.
I'm glad that you hit it right on the nail. When you said
Right on.
we weren't looking for Western Kentucky to do much. So I'm really interested still to see what Alabama can do. But I wasn't surprised that basically, you got top tier, A-class recruits. You should be still, no matter who the coach is, should be still dumping a whole bunch of dump on them.
All right, guys, ready for this? There is a little magic. And we're not talking about Disney magic. We're talking about this magic. What happened? UNLV. UNLV. I thought Houston was going to win that game. Oh, my goodness. Bro, UNLV went there and looked like the national title. Their defense was all over Houston. And to the BGC Sports Network and the Houston people out there, I'm so sorry, but I didn't think, again, I like Houston, but I didn't think UNLV was going to come up there and do that. 27-7? Really? Really?
Great start for UNLV.
Incredible. And they got a brand new quarterback, right? But here's the thing. Here's the skinny. Ricky White, who I got a chance to meet in person last year when we did the Boise State. Remember, Olivia? Remember the Boise State UNLV game?
You locked me in a sandbox all week. I was there to talk about it later.
Okay, so Ricky White, 1,500 yards last year, could have left and went to the pros, stayed. And they also have another receiver, 1,400-yard receiver. He stayed. So 27-7. Very, very impressive.
Yes. Great way to start out the season.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, incredible. Coach Odom, still there. He didn't decide to do anything. We signed him a contract. Thank you, Coach Odom. But here is a big, big game I want to talk about. You living in Florida, right? Let's talk about it, JP. Florida State, ranked in the top 10.
Trash.
Top 10, loses to Georgia Tech. And I said, okay, they played in Ireland. We'll give them a doggy bone pass on that one. Okay, they had their home opener. Home opener to BC.
Tell us more.
To BC. And they were highly favored.
Please tell us more.
Highly favored. And they lost the game 28-13. JP,
wasn't even
talk
close.
About it.
I mean, it wasn't even close. And so, Florida State
trash.
Well, I wouldn't say just trash. I mean, I think it's interesting, right? Last year they were like, "Hey, we should have been in the playoffs," and we got ripped
That's
off
right.
for that. And then to come back the following year and to play the way they have at the beginning, not a good look.
0-2.
0-2, and I mean it's going to be a rough, long year.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
And I hate to jump in and say,
Coach Bobby J, what do you think?
I feel bad. I'll be honest. Like I don't care about Florida State one way or the other, but you know, it's they're a proud fan base, so I'm sure their fans are not gonna be happy if this.
Good point about that. Florida fan base, large. Bobby J, talk about it.
Rough game. Rough. It's going to be a rough season for them. The question that I raised as well is, I like how you said they had all the expectations last year. They got to get in that quarterback room. That seems like they thought, how do you say it? You wiggly, you ugly. Mr. U. They was expecting him to come in and take in that QB room, but from what I'm seeing so far, they keep rolling with him. It might be a tough season for him. They got to get some work with him and shape up that defense as well. I say playing a team like Boston College, I know they got the new coach, Bill O'Brien. But at the same time, like I say, defensively, you always got to be there. And to give up 28 points at home, it's unacceptable.
But you know what was really incredible is that we are here again at the beautiful Stallone's Italian Eatery. This place is awesome. It's where 702 started. Brett Raymer, the owner, beautiful guy, was on Shark Tank.
No, he was on the show tank.
The show tank. There you go, Brett. Say wave to everybody.
Hey.
He was on the show, not Shark Tank, the tank. So,
Oh my goodness.
but I just want to let Brett know again. Thank you. This is going to be like our home base will be. So you see how nice and lit up is with memorabilia, and you gotta come here and get the salad and the pizza. Nothing's better than a slice of New York pizza, all right? With ranch. Don't forget the ranch. So again, back to the Florida State game. We talked about this, and I had found out about it last week. The quarterback, Ugliavea, has been with 3 teams over the last 3 years. Like, how do you get consistency with that? He started at Clemson, then he went to Oregon State with the Beavers last year. Right? Beavers had a good offense, right? And they did do good last year. But for him going now to the ACC, it's just too much inconsistency. So, I mean, to me, that is the answer. I'm sorry Florida State got robbed last year. But guess what? This year, I don't know. I think they shackled up. I think it's done. You know what I mean? I mean, like you still have Clemson to go through. We don't even know about all the other non-conference games they got. But I'm gonna stay positive because I'm a Gator guy. I like Florida football. It doesn't matter if it's the Canes or if it's the Seminoles or if it's my Gators. I just believe down there they got a lot of speed and a lot of talent to any one of those teams to turn it around. And my Gators took a loss. We did to Miami, okay? But that's okay, though. I mean, we're on house money anyway. We're in rebuild mode. So, again, is there anything you want to recap about on college football?
I'm going to say fight on, USC. Continue to keep pouring it on. Let's do this. Let's get in this playoff. I'm going to say that Florida State is done. They put a fork in it. But like to see what Alabama can do. It's a long football season, and let's just roll with it.
And I mean, I thought maybe I was the only one when I watched the Georgia game. Clemson held them the first half to only 6 points, and it was close until the second half. I felt like Georgia didn't actually. I mean, Clemson played well on defense, had no offense, but Georgia should, I thought, have blown them out faster with as much talent as Georgia usually has. So. I'm a little, if I was a Georgia fan, I'd be a little concerned, as they get into the harder part of their schedule and in the SEC. So, I mean, I have more question marks after the Georgia game than I did before it because, same thing with Oregon. Oregon didn't look good even though they both won for their expectations this year. So, there's teams, unfortunately, like Ohio State, which I don't like, obviously, but Ohio State looked good. And so, they kind of looked how Georgia and Oregon were predicted to be. So.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this segment up right now. We're gonna come back with our community segment. We'll be back at 2 and 2. But guess what? We will be giving America who we like this week in college football, right? 2 games that Big Al's really wanted to feed to you. Coach Bobby J got one for you. JP got one for you. Jamie got one for you. So we'll be back Come back to us at 2-2. Thank you. And welcome back to 702 Sports on the Sideline. Produced and created by Creation for Cause and proud partners of CCSD, that's Clark County School District, and BGC Sports Network.
Also bringing awareness to Best Buddies of Southern Nevada and the Care Complex. Actually, it's all of Nevada. Best Buddies in general. How are you guys doing today? This is Anise, co-founder and co-host of Creation for Causes 702 Sports. I'm here with the guys. Obviously, I missed segment 2. I was behind the camera, but this is our community segment. We're here to talk about what we just shot this last weekend at DJ Memphis's back-to-school block party at Container Park. It was a huge success. It was a great back-to-school charity event. We gave out backpacks, school supplies. We were there getting followers, which is a big thing for our show. We spent so much time last season making sure that our production was great, that we just we weren't too concerned with the followers. So this year, with our partnership with CCSD, we're going to go out into the community more. We're going to be more active with the events, and we're going to also talk sports. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
The fall season's coming around.
I know.
I'm just ready for the leaves to start changing.
I'm already in my
I'm ready
clothes.
with the
I'm already in my
leaves.
clothes here, my hoodies.
But there's so much that 702 Sports is bringing you. People say, Al, how's your podcast? And what does that make me?
He gets mad, guys.
How does that make me
Not
feel?
a podcast.
I'm like, you know what? We
Wrong
don't have a
podcast.
podcast. We have a show. Because podcasts don't take it to the streets. Podcasts don't go to the homeless shelters like we did last year.
That's
with
right.
Harvey that runs it and does like collaboration, right? And Horses for Hero, Horse Trailer Hideout. You know, podcast just stays in the box. Now, to people who got great podcasts, I'm not knocking you. Hey, it's great. What works for you, I love it. But us, we're different. We're about community. Of course, we got the casinos and the glitz and the glamour, but Vegas was really founded by community.
That's right.
What community? It was the people who built the dam
That's right.
out here in the 1940s. They were here. And believe me, the only thing they wanted was a place to stay and sleep, and built this great place where we need electricity, that we got it flowing all over here, right? So I'm just here to let you know there's a lot more inclusion that we're bringing to. There's a lot of community that we're going to be bringing to you. So please, just go to us, go to our social media platforms and follow us, because we're going to kick out great sports to you every week, but also great touching community stuff.
We make it a point. We're partnered with the school district now, guys.
Yes.
You know that. We talked about that
Yes.
last week. That means we're going to be advertising in 363 schools across the Clark County school district. So that's an opportunity for kids to be inspired on the work that we do, to bring them into, like you said, the homeless shelters, the Care Complex. This Saturday, in fact, we have the Care Fair. We get there at 7 a.m. It usually goes from about 8:30 to about 11:30. We collect donations from the community. We've got Clean the World shower truck there. We've got street dogs handing out pet supplies, giving grooming. And it's just a wonderful downtown community where we get to help the underprivileged, homeless patrons of Nevada find their way and get back on their feet like we do. And that's what it's about, helping each other up. And sometimes the underdog gets left behind. So we, at Creation for Cause 702 Sports, remind the community that we're all loved by God, that we're all here, and that we're all here to help each other. And that's what this weekend's event is about. So get on social media, follow us, make sure you check out our live stream this Saturday at the Care Complex. That's thecarecomplex.org if you're interested in knowing more about the Care Complex. And we'll have the Best Buddies of Southern Nevada there probably helping us hand out those donations. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It'd be great.
Yeah, and then as far as the school district, we're really going in and bringing inclusion to these special quarterly shows that we're going to be doing. We're highlighting a different student every quarter with special abilities, and we're building a very, as we put it, MTV meets Make-A-Wish Foundation show around them. We're surprising this community member, and we're reminding them why they're so important. Their hard work goes into our hard work, and that's what it's all about. And speaking of hard work, you guys have some businesses here in the Las Vegas community. Why don't you both set us up and talk about them? Because you're both very important. Coach Bobby, you want to go first, or Jamie?
I don't mind going first.
Go first.
That's fine.
You're sitting next to me. It's easier.
I know that's right. So I have a non-profit organization called Infinite Development Sports. We really specialize with working with the youth, college and pros alike, to really just give them opportunity to get better in a positive and productive environment.
That's beautiful. Now, what kind of outcome do you see from these students after they go through your program?
Just, becoming better people, reaching their goals. That's right, building up their confidence and helping set them up for that life after high school or life after sports.
Sports is one of the most productive things I think you can do for somebody, for helping a child or helping anybody. It involves teamwork, collaboration, and focus. And that's what community also is about, and growing and self-realization. And there's nothing I think more important than adding a sports element into everybody's life.
That's right.
I really think that.
Because when you think about, a lot of people like to work individually and things like that. It's like when you get into the sports element, you really help build up that character and, show them how to work with people. Even when things are good or bad, you still have to be productive and work alongside people that say you don't necessarily want to work with. You know what I mean? That's basically what.
But that is life. That is life. It's
right.
learning to find the love and the understanding in everyone. And as my father used to say it, make it a point to try to be friends with everyone. Try to understand what everybody is about. And instead of seeing the negative, which everybody likes to point out in everyone, see the positive and bring that out in that person. And you'll watch that person grow. And that's one of the reasons I'm on the board for Best Buddies Nevada. I watched this organization, as I put it, really promote best friendism, and nobody gets left behind. It's all about inclusion, and there's been a lot of bullying, of course. With in all aspects of life, everybody gets bullied at some point, and it teaches you to rise above that and look for the best in that person and bring it out in them. And that's why I love this show so much, because every time we bring on guests like you guys, you do that for us, and we hopefully leave something with you guys, and it's just beautiful.
Yes, indeed. And that y'all have. Like I say, y'all have helped me learn more about inclusion and things like that. Because, it's something that naturally a lot of us just do, because everybody has different struggles, different paths that they have to go through in life. And to be a part of this process with inclusion, I'm just very excited to bring the brand and everything I know and be able to learn more about it.
Yeah, thank you. We invite you guys always back to our set. We love it. You just make the show bigger and better.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Now, Jamie, of course, we have not forgot about you.
Woo! Thank you.
How could we, Jamie? You're a season 1 comeback.
Yes, thanks for having me back. The name of my company is Jamie POS. That's www.JAIMEPOS.com. Even if you misspell it, it'll still take you right back to JamiePOS.com.
That's right.
I do IT work. I do processing, merchant services. I've been in the business for about 20 years. I've had my own business for the last 16 years. So I've been out here in Nevada for the last 9 years working it. Some of my clients are some of the hospitals here in town, which basically
that's amazing.
Great. They like to support small business, and I'm very thankful for that, as always. But that's what we do, and basically I network cats like these here that basically give me an opportunity, a podcast or a show to go ahead and go on to and actually speak and get to develop and advertise and show my talents. So I'm very
thank you.
Happy and blessed.
Thank you for what you do.
I think that's great. IT work.
And your community and your small business.
Community with the hospital.
Why do you think having a small business and owning your own business is so important for communities?
I think that small businesses are the foundation. Now, yes, of course, the big businesses are always going to gobble up the small guys because where money is bigger, money is always going to talk. But basically, the small business is the heart and soul. Is what basically makes us grounded in life. So that's the one thing I like about it.
And it's empowering being a business owner. You're working for yourself. You have to get up every morning and really grind. But it feels good because you're not having a boss whip you for numbers. You know what you're doing it for. You get to set your own schedule, and like I said, it's empowering. It's a great feeling, and to inspire others in the community to do it and say, listen, you can own your own business. You don't have to do the 9 to 5. You can set your own hours and really develop yourself as an individual in the community and partner up. And that's the beauty of all of this. And that's what, right, Al? That's why we set this platform up. We can bring in our friends who inspire us to inspire others while inspiring back, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Inclusion.
JP, what do you think about all that?
No, I mean that, and it's been cool to be able to go on location at different businesses throughout the community and see what different people are doing. It's a big town and a small town at the same time, so it's really cool to actually go to the street, if you will, or just be as active as we are with the different things. So
it's nice because people have such stigma over Las Vegas, what the gambling and all the party aspect of it, but nobody really thinks on a bigger note what the locals do. So it's nice to have a platform that we can go in, show what the locals do, and still have a good time doing it. You know what I'm saying? And this season we've got Opportunity Village, we got Dig It Coffee, we have the Garden Foundation coming up. Down Syndrome organization of Southern Nevada coming in next week. We always have Best Buddies. We don't have a Best Buddies ambassador today, but guess what? Yes, we do. All three of us did Best Buddies ambassador training last year in June. So we actually are Best Buddy ambassadors, and I have my tattoos to give all these gentlemen afterwards. So there we go. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to be in the school districts. That's always been my dream. Growing up, I went to Green Valley High School here, and MTV used to come to Vegas and do rock and jog and all these pool parties. And I would see all these personalities, and then all these community people would come together. And I was too young at the time to get into those parties, and so I went. And later on in life, I ended up working at MTV and watching everyone on set. And over 20 years, found a way to develop something here in Las Vegas for our own kind of community. So we want to give that same energetic vibe, but we want to add a twist where we give back and we promote the nonprofits and the local community that has risen us up, right?
And just as of this year, you just turned old enough to finally go to these parties, right?
I love this guy. Keep talking, Jamie. Keep talking, Jamie. Yeah. My birthday's on Saturday. What are we doing? I don't have to give the age away. Actually, it's next Sunday, but I'm working for football, so I'm saying it's Saturday for the Care Fest. I expect you guys to show up with a slice of cake for me and a candle.
I can't wait to see your birthday.
Aw, yay!
I gotta go out there and shop now to get.
That's right.
Give my girl something.
Yeah, Raider. I'm gonna make them win one year. Watch.
So we're going to go to a commercial break right now, and just come back to us.
Darth Vader.
Because you don't know the power of the dark side.
But we bring you the light. Creation for Cause, 702 Sports on the sideline.
Come back to us. Woo! And welcome back to 702 Sports on the sideline. Produced and created by Creation for Cause. And now, the NFL preview and NCAA preview. Yes. Now, the big game that's on my mind is my man right here in this hat. In the big house, has Michigan ever been an underdog in week 2?
Not very often, but I think it goes back to what we talked about, scheduling hard games at the beginning of the year. So, I definitely think they're going to be an underdog.
They're playing Texas.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think they're going to lose by.
There's our Texas fans out there.
Michigan's going to lose by double digits, I think.
You got Michigan losing?
Yeah, offense. Michigan's offense struggled last year a little bit with their receivers, and then we had J.J. McCarthy.
That's right.
I don't love our quarterback this year so far.
This is a big game
quarterback
for Texas.
Play in college football. I mean, you have to have a good quarterback.
You have to. You're right. You're right. And J.J. McCarthy was a senior.
Well, no, he was he went out early, but.
Oh, he went out early?
Yeah, I think he was a junior last year.
Oh, okay, right. Well, 3 good years, right?
Oh yeah, great years.
Three good great years.
You, so.
And now who was he with? The Vikings.
Yep.
And he got hurt. So speedy recovery to you, JJ. Right. Hopefully we'll be seeing you on some Sundays. But this game to me is really big because.
I'm hoping Michigan can always pull the upset, but
they can.
It would.
They
be
can.
An upset.
Me myself, I'm leaning towards Michigan.
Mm.
I'm leaning towards Michigan. Don't ask me why, because I just think 130,000 people. Texas going into Michigan. This is a lot of pressure for Texas, especially going into the SEC, fellas. Granted, this is a non-conference game, but still, I'm just saying.
Well, the good thing is Michigan does have a great defense. So they've returned, and even last game they were talking about how much experience the players. Even though Michigan lost a lot of starters to the NFL this last year, a lot of players that are on the team this year had a lot of snaps last year, played a lot of football last year. So the defense, played pretty well last week. Has more room for improvement, but I mean Texas is tough. So and Texas has go back to quarterback has a experienced quarterback. So I'm hoping Michigan can win. I want them to win as a fan, but if I had just on paper, I think Texas is.
It's a good paper bet. I can dig it, Jamie. What do you think about the Texas-Michigan game?
I think that it's going to be an uphill battle for Michigan. It's a game I would stay away from personally, but I do think that I think Michigan can at least keep it close.
And what I do, and to go back to what I do like is Michigan has played in a lot of big games the last few years, so there's a lot of players on the team that have that experience. I do like that. The tight end Loveland played big last week. They're going to need him to play big again. Donovan Edwards has to come up bigger than he kind of was in the shadows a little bit last year with Blake Corum. Blake Corum's gone now. Michigan needs to establish and have a good running game, I think, this week to do well against Texas. But we'll see.
Coach Bobby J, what you think? Go blue or hook 'em horns?
Oh, we hook 'em. Hook 'em horns. I say, Texas, they're bringing back a lot of pieces. Very talented team.
Yeah.
Heisman candidate at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's too many pieces in my opinion. I think they go up to the big house and get a convincing win.
Oh, convincing.
All right. So we talked about that game, but let's talk about this game. This is another big game. Who always says, show me the money. That's prime time. Prime time. I always say, show him the money, right?
Right.
Guess what? He got to go to Nebraska, the Cornhusker land, where Nebraska just had a crushy 49-7 against UTEP. And we was talking about liking UTEP last week, right? Wrong. Yeah, I know. But now Colorado. All right, quiet crowd, quiet. Okay, now Colorado goes to Nebraska. They're an underdog, and Sanders, Primetime's son, great quarterback. He's a Heisman runner-up. So to me, this is his Heisman game.
That's right.
On the road, when Nebraska just had an impressive win, and Nebraska has a top 5 quarterback that Alabama wanted, that Georgia wanted. Don't have his name, but I'll have it for you next week after I break this game down. So I want to know, fellas, have you researched this game? What interests you in this big game for Colorado on the road?
I think that basically the way that Colorado started last year, they took fire and they don't want to have a repeat of what happened last year. I like the defense. I like the offense. I think the wide receivers are tremendously, and they're just, wow, amazing. They're fast all over the place. Speed kills. Nebraska, I believe, has better defense, but I don't know what you guys were thinking of when you guys said UTEP has a good team. I don't see it, but I do see Colorado winning this game.
Wow, he likes Colorado. Okay. Okay. What do you think about the game, JP?
I think it's an early test. Going into Nebraska is never an easy place to play, but I like Colorado early to win this game. But I think that's what we saw last year. They started out strong and then it kind of faded. Does the same thing happen this year? And that Hunter on defense, that plays defense and offense, is one of the better college players I've seen in a long time. To play the amount of snaps he does on both sides of the ball, he's got unlimited amount of energy, and top level performance at all times. So
Could you imagine being his mama telling him to sit down?
yeah, but I think it's players like him is the difference maker. So just in that alone, I like Colorado in this game.
Yes.
And you're right. Last year when he got hurt, Colorado went through some issues.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Coach Bobby J, what you think about the game?
Should be a great game. Should be definitely looking forward to see how Colorado approaches this game. It's a tough road game. Looking forward to seeing what those players are capable of. Shadur, right? He's the biggest piece of it all. He can get everything going. Offensively, the defense will come right in tow with him. But I'm going to go the other way. I'm gonna go with the home team, right? I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to assume Nebraska gets this win. I got a close game. I got a low-scoring game.
Okay. We don't want to give out the secret of what the point spread is. You know, we have to leave that anonymous. But, look, we're going to go into the what, guys? NFL opening week! Yes! Woo!
It's finally here.
Come on.
I told the good Lord, I said, Lord, thank you. I survived the summertime, and I survived to get to the NFL for another great year.
Come on.
We are going to jump right out we're going to jump right out into this game here. It is. Because there's a lot of new pieces. Me being from Chicago, I'm from there, but I don't favor them. But this year, I think I'm coming back. I'm going to tell everybody why. The Bears have a West Coast offense. And what do you need in a West Coast offense? Caleb Williams, Heisman winning trophy quarterback. 2 years ago, Caleb Williams out of where? USC.
Right.
Fight on. Fight on. But here's the thing about it. They got additions. They got Washington's both they wide receivers. Adunze, and they got Pettis, right? And they've gotten Swift from Georgia running back, right? That was with the Eagles. And guess what, y'all? He got low miles on him.
Come on.
He got low miles on him. That means he can run and catch the ball out of the backfield, as well as getting one key addition, veteran, Keenan Allen from the Chargers. They got veteran on the wideouts. Plus, that opens it up for DJ Moore. So like I've been telling everybody, there's no reason why the Bears don't score 35 points, average 28 points a game.
Chicago's definitely going to be an exciting team to watch this year.
No reason. They were undefeated in preseason. I watched every Bear preseason game. Not that it was just there for me to watch. We're just going to put it like that. I looked at it, and that NFC Central, fellas, is now sexy. It's now sexy.
I actually hope the Bears win that division
because you got the Lions that are on the uprise, right? You got Green Bay with Love, right? We seen what they did in the playoff, and now you got the Bears.
Come on.
And you got the Vikings. They really ain't gonna really fall. So now I think America, it's worth watching the NFC Central now. So that game right there, the Titans, who Derrick Henry just left, play Chicago in Chicago. Chicago's favorite only by a little bit, right? I think it's worthwhile watching, tuning it in, or doing whatever you want to do with it. Now, the Cowboys play the Browns. Now, y'all know anything of this? CD Lamb, who held out. What happens to guys that just hold out over the whole summer? Granted, he got his paper, but now the Cowboys really wasn't a good road team, and they got to go play Cleveland. JP, what you think about that?
I like Cleveland in that game early, but I mean, Cowboys have a lot to play for this year. There's question marks. Is McCarthy? They such a bad playoff loss last year. They got blown out. I mean, they came back, made it interesting later, but they pretty much got blown out against Green Bay at home. So they have a lot to prove this year. Dak Prescott still his whether he's going to be there or not later, and whether there's contractual issues with him as well.
It's his last year on his contract. Is that it?
Well, yeah. So he's playing one more year. This is his last. He can be an unlimited free agent. Unrestricted free agent next year. So
Thank you.
So I think there's a lot of question marks with the Cowboys and a lot for them to play for. But I mean, Cleveland played well last year too. I think Cleveland is going to represent at home.
Me myself, I don't have an opinion in the game, but I just said Cowboys are road team, but the Browns are favored by a little bit. I will be watching this game. because I do like to rock the Cowboys, right? Last year they were undefeated at home, right? So that's another reason why I'm kind of skeptical about them being on the road. But Coach Bobby J, what is your game, or do you want to elaborate on this game, this NFL game?
I'll elaborate on that one a little bit. I support the Cowboys a little bit, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
I mean, it's a big game for the Cowboys early.
Big game.
Big game early. You know, like you say, man lost in the playoffs last year. We look at Dak. We look at is it Love over there with the Packers. It's like let him not play at home. You know what I mean? So this is one that can really test the limits quick, right? Because I mean, you know, you go into Cleveland, that is not an easy environment to play.
Not easy.
You got to look Myles Garrett in the face every possession.
That's what I was thinking about.
Come on, so you know they usually don't play well against stout defenses. You know what I mean? So
it's a great week 1 game.
Yeah,
Great week 1 game.
very much.
It's
so.
a gut check game.
Mm-hmm.
Right out the gate. It's like Deshaun Watson, right? Against Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is Deshaun the winner, the winning quarterback that they need? Or is Dak Prescott gonna be like, you know what? I'm coming out guns blazing, right? Because I'm in my contract year.
Yeah.
And we know about players in their contract year, right? They got other teams watching. You know what I mean? And
on.
if he wants the bag, he gonna have to throw some touchdowns and not throw no interceptions.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Bobby, give me one of the talk about one of the games you was like.
All right, I got you. Oh, game on my list for this weekend is the Packers and the Eagles. Right. That's another big week 1 game. That's a
In Brazil.
yeah.
First year.
Sao Paulo. So that's very much looking forward to that game. We know how the Packers came off the year last year. Eagles, decent year last year, great year the year before. Then they added Saquon Barkley to add to that running game. But I mean, I'm really excited to see how the Eagles come out. I'm a guy who doesn't like to give out hype too much, or, you know, I don't get too excited about new moves, things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can come back to form and really get on top of the NFC again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they have a lot to prove. Like you said, they last year fell off, right? Did so well for so early, and then just fell apart. So, you know, can they pick up those pieces and be the team that everyone thought they were going to be at the end of the year?
Come on.
I do want to say one thing about a game that's really interesting, fellas. Like, you really don't have to dig that deep and go deep on it. It's the Raiders at the Chargers. Now, the Chargers got Harbaugh, but Harbaugh's playing on house money, but he ain't got a full deck this year. So I don't even, how long he gonna be at the table, at the blackjack table, right? You know, we don't even know, because Joey Bosa, all-star Bosa, out, injury. Mike Williams traded to the Jets, right? Been there forever. Keenan Allen, as we talked about, fellas, went to the Bears, right? Oh, and Eckler, their Pro Bowl running back, he split. So there is no identity on the LA Chargers. The Raiders is an underdog.
Do the Raiders get that win?
Raiders get that win. The hometown Raiders gets the win. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, Jamie? Come on.
I'm gonna stick with the Harbaugh. His identity has always been built in smash mouth football, man up, like he likes to say. I like the Chargers for this win. I do. I don't think it's close. The Raiders need a quarterback. I like the Raiders. I like their defense. I like Pierce as a coach. But the Raiders, Pierce has got just a horrible quarterback room. So until he gets that fixed, I just don't see them putting points up. I don't see the defense being happy that they are on the field 25, 30 minutes a game. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to go with it.
Now, we're going to save the best for last.
Ravens?
Ravens and the Chiefs. Man, Jamie here, diehard Ravens fan.
Yes.
Me, myself, I've been waiting for the Ravens to get that secret ingredient to at least relieve some stress off Lamar Jackson, which is Derrick Henry. That's his name. That guy is a 2,000 yard rushing running back. The guy is like 6'4", 240. Guy got speed. He's like a diesel truck, right? And we know about Lamar Jackson during the year. Just when you get to the playoffs, can the game be managed? and Derrick Henry, bar injury, Lamar Jackson, bar injury, all year, will make it to the Super Bowl. That's my opinion. I'm giving you the skinny right now. Ravens in the Super Bowl. I don't know any NFC, but in this game against the Chiefs, they're an underdog. I'm going with the Ravens again. JP, who do you like in the game?
And I actually, I kind of think that we've never had, I talked about last week, we've never had a team win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I think that's going to change this year. I like Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. So we're going to see, but Baltimore's going to be there for sure. But, I mean, you talked about earlier, you said playing with house money. I mean, Kansas City has the experience. They've lost Super Bowls with the squad they got right now. They've won them. Mahomes, man, there is just nobody better in the NFL than Mahomes. So you have the best quarterback. You have stars on both sides of the ball. You have a good defense. You have, good young receivers. They lost
Hollywood Brown.
But last year, a couple years ago, he went to the Dolphins. They lost
Juju Smith.
Hill.
Tyreek Hill, and they almost didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Right? Then all of a sudden they get a young guy and he plays out of his mind. So, Mahomes is just such a difference maker. So that's, it's going to be a great game. Kansas City, I don't know if they'll win that game necessarily. That's going to be a tough game. But even if they lose that game, they lost last year to Detroit and still, went to the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. So
okay, we're gonna ask. We got 1 quick minute, Bobby.
All right, on that game, it's easy for me to say. Chiefs.
Okay.
3 times.
We got a 2-2 split on it.
To be the champion, you got to beat the champion. That's all I'm going to say.
I totally agree.
And I must say, Al, let's not sleep on the Texans. Texans will be in the AFC Championship.
I do like C.J. Stroud, especially with the new addition of Stephon Diggs. But look, we have to wrap up our show now, but we will go ahead and have great footage for you as far as what's going on in this following week. Come back to us, 702 Sports. Keep it true with 702.
Peace.
Go Tigers.
Fight on.